Okay, we're live.
Okay, welcome everyone. Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
Hmm.
We are jumping on because honestly, the clock is ticking. You have literally 3 days to sign up for the boot camp. So we're really at the end of the road.
Hmm.
And so we wanted to come on here and talk to those who maybe you're sitting on the fence and you've seen some of our lives. Maybe you saw the testimony from Utong that we just did. I believe that was Tuesday.
Hmm.
Um, and, she talked about losing weight, reversing her diabetes, and just all of the benefits that she occurred just because she made that one decision to get into the boot camp, and it changed literally the trajectory of her health from there.
Hmm.
And so if you haven't watched that video, it is on our Instagram, it's on YouTube as well, and it's on Facebook as well. So just go back a couple days to Tuesday and you'll see that testimony. We're going to have some more coming out this week. So tune in for that. If you're trying to hear, like, what are people saying about the boot camp? Go ahead and watch those. But we wanted to encourage you to get off of the fence. There's literally 3 days left. And we like to tell people, don't wait until the day. Some people they're like, oh, it's the day of the boot camp. I'm going to just last minute, I'm going to jump in. Don't do that to yourself
Mm-mm.
because there is a little bit of prep. We're going to give you a meal plan. So you're going to be able to decide what you want to make, get your groceries together, get your meals together. We're also going to give you some devotionals that you're going to get every single day to really invite God into that space and start praying about your health. But it's always good to spiritually and emotionally just kind of get yourself in a line before just jumping in. Start, you know, praying and say, Lord, what do you want to do with me in these next 5 days and things like that. And so you want to kind of, we talk about the idea that you're going to be doing the Daniel fast for 5 days. So those of you who are coffee drinkers, you kind of want to, wean yourself off the coffee a few days before, which, and all of those things. So we're encouraging you, if you are sitting on the fence, if God's been nudging you that this is what I need, I've have extra pounds that I know I need to lose. Maybe you're struggling with high blood pressure or diabetes or high cholesterol, all of the things, and you know that God is nudging you to go into 2026 from a different perspective, where you're not only just chasing scale numbers and chasing the next fad diet, but you are doing this in a way that's going to honor your temple and give God glory, then you want to get into the Healthy Christian Woman Boot Camp.
Yep. So if you have heard the lives before and you're like, okay, I'm ready, click the link in the description, or if you're on IG, it's in the bio. But yeah, we've been doing this for over 5 years now, and the results kind of speak for themselves. I mean, we've had women lose a lot of weight, upwards of 90, close to 100 pounds. We've had women, not in the 5 days, of course,
Mhm.
but it started with the boot camp, I should
Yeah,
say.
a jump start.
And yeah, and then or come off of their medication, like in Utong is a great example of that. She was able to come off of the medication that was giving her really bad side effects and really disrupting the quality of her life. And so, and also lower high blood pressure, lower cholesterol, and just feeling good in your body. Like I can remember before, I started eating like Daniel, I just didn't feel right in my own body. I wasn't necessarily on any medication, but I had high cholesterol. I was starting to gain weight. I just didn't feel good in my own body. And so this is a great reset. Like it is a great way to really just, detox your body, start fresh. And you're going to learn a ton. You're going to be moved, you're going to be challenged. You're going to come out of the boot camp a completely different person than you came in. So if you've been on the yo-yo diet train and you've tried things and they didn't stick or they didn't work, this is completely different because it has the combination of both inviting God into your health journey, as well as educating you on what the Daniel fast does to your body. So we do that in terms of providing nutrition science. We also get into the business of food and, why we're addicted to certain foods, and why we have trouble giving up those foods, or we lean into those foods when we're stressed, or triggered in some way. We also dive into generational patterns of poor health, because a lot of times, diseases get passed on to our family, not necessarily for genetic reasons, but it's more because of the lifestyle. So we adopt the same lifestyle behaviors, we eat the same food. Perhaps we don't move, so we're more sedentary because that's just the way, that's just the way our family is, and that's the way we grew up, and that's just how it is. And so we really get into this concept of epigenetics, and how your genes might load the gun in terms of getting a chronic disease, but your lifestyle is really what pulls the trigger. And there's a lot of very clear science around that. So we get into that. We also talk about, the importance of taking action. You're going to learn a ton of stuff the first 3 days. And by the fourth day, we're going to, challenge you, biblically around, what do you do with this information? Like, how are you going to move forward? And then we put a bow on everything, in terms of connecting your ability to build financial wealth with your physical health, because the two are absolutely linked together. So the boot camp is 5 days. It's virtual. Replays are available. So if you miss a day or you want to rewatch something, you can absolutely, get back in, watch the replay. Very engaging. You're doing this in a community, so you're not alone. And that's where a lot of the power is. I mean, having that support system is, you're not necessarily trying to do this on your own in isolation, in a bat cave. You're doing this with like-minded women, and men are absolutely welcome to join as well. So it's a very different approach to kickstarting a new health journey that it's not a temporary thing. It's something that you're encouraged to continue on with. And it becomes, really an absolute game changer in your life in so many ways, not just your life, but the people around you, your kids and even your parents or your siblings or coworkers or, friends. So don't hesitate. You're worth it. Sign up.
Yeah. So for YouTube and Facebook, the link to sign up is in the show notes. Instagram, you can just click the link in the bio and it will take you directly to where you can purchase the 5-day Healthy Christian Women Boot Camp. Guys, don't hesitate. Don't sit on the fence for something that is so impactful, something that can change your health, can change your life, can change your family generationally. And really it's the cost of a drive-through through Starbucks, or something like that once or twice. And so, or a lunch out with a friend. It's very minimal, but it's so impactful. And we made it that way because we didn't want to make it inaccessible to anyone because of finance or anything like that. And so my prayer for you today, if you're watching this and you're getting all these excuses in your mind or you're trying to put it off, don't go down that road. Take action and change your health.
Yep. So if you have any questions, go ahead, leave them in the comments. We'll be circling back, for those watching on the replay, and we're happy to address any that you might have. So so we will see you later. I think we've got some more testimonies coming, so we'll look for those later.
All right.